Hello, I'm Raj Gupta, Research Director of CISDM, an Alternative Investments Research Center at the University of Massachusetts, and also the founding co-sponsor of the Chartered Alternative Investment Analysts Association. We're very pleased to have Dr. Angelo Calvello join us today. Dr. Calvello has had a distinguished career in environmental investing, and he's also the author of Environmental Alpha. He's also the editor of the Journal of Environmental Investing, and we're going to talk about environmental alpha issues today in great detail. Dr. Calvello, welcome.
Thank you, Raj. Good to be here.
What are the challenges that fiduciaries or asset owners are facing in terms of environmental investing?
I think the first and certainly most immediate is education. Again, when I was kind of out talking about that product from Man, I saw investors interested but lacking proper understanding. And this is a material risk to a portfolio. And we know that plan sponsors and other types of asset owners are at full capacity right now. They don't have a lot of extra bandwidth to suddenly look at a new material risk. So the challenge for them initially is understanding environmental investing, understanding climate change writ large, and how it might impact their portfolio. And frankly, many of them don't have the resources, and consultants don't have a commitment in this space yet. A handful do, but in general, it's still kind of far in the future, at least here in the U.S. So the challenge is finding resources that will allow asset owners to get up to speed on this, so they can identify risks and opportunities. And what I suggest in the book is creating a virtual team. Going out and looking within the broad community that an asset owner is located in to say, boy, do I have members on my board? Could I use my consultants, my asset owners? But then go even more broadly and look into universities, the media, NGOs, kind of quasi-governmental organizations. Can you get someone from the World Bank on the phone on a conference call to talk about environmental investing? Build this virtual team so you can gain the knowledge necessary to start making some informed decisions.
You mentioned universities. That's interesting because I think if you look at the number of courses that are being offered in this area, it's still probably pretty small. What's your experience in terms of, there are not too many universities offering these kinds of programs, but they are certainly trying to do more in that area.
Agreed. I'm finding more courses being offered in the environmental investment area through these sustainability programs that you find in MBA programs. So I think that's where you begin to see the growing interest in this space. But because of the drivers of return and the complexity of those drivers, you're finding that it's not kind of a narrow body of knowledge. I'm finding that people approaching environmental investing are coming from all kind of backgrounds. When I got into business early on, it was a big deal to have a physicist. If you remember that back in the day, we'd have physicists would suddenly be on a trading desk, or they'd come down to the floor, and it was a big deal. Now, I mean, there's a guy that's on the board. On the board of the Journal of Environmental Investing, J. Rajamoni. He's a PhD in oceanography, but he runs a long-short portfolio at Numeric. So you're finding, because of the complexity of these drivers, people are coming from kind of all areas to explore environmental investing. In fact, that's really the basis of the journal. It's an interdisciplinary journal that tries to bring this discourse to a center from the different disciplines.
Yeah, actually, that is, I mean, I think when you have articles, that's something that professors can easily incorporate into their courses. And so I think the journal would go a long way in trying to get environmental alpha into the curriculum of schools. Now, let
me stay with that for just a minute on that point. Two things. First, I want you to know that the journal is free of charge. Oh. It's a peer-reviewed academic journal, but because of sponsorship from a group called BE Bioenergy Group, we're able to offer it free of charge online. Oh. So I think that makes it easier for scholars to access the information. And second, like you, I think it's important to get this into the curriculum, but we're going to offer a scholarship to a graduate student. And I'm not sure what area it'll be in because that'll be determined by the students themselves. But the scholarship will be awarded to the student that does the best manuscript, original manuscript on environmental investing. We have a selection committee that will make that determination. So we're trying to pull scholars into the area. And we believe younger scholars are needing the support. Because, as you say, there's not a big commitment at the university yet. This is still a growing space, and if we can contribute to that, we're going to do that.
Oh yeah, no, I think the journal would go a long way. What about the Kaya Association? Do you think and maybe even the CFA, do you think these two organizations are offering the appropriate level of environmental alpha education?
We're not quite there yet, but there are forward-thinking organizations like Kaya and the CFA and INGARM that are doing work in this space. In fact, INGARM has got a carbon finance introductory course that's outstanding. And for those people interested in learning about that, I would say take that course, get up to speed quickly so you understand the principles, concepts, and investment functions. And it'd be a great opportunity. Likewise, Russell Reed did a piece for the CFA, and I know Kai is doing some research in this space also. So it's coming. It's coming. It's just a matter of continuing to forge this dialogue. And I would encourage people to look at the journal as a source of information.
Okay. Are there any other general issues that investors and educators should be aware of? Just broad issues that, or let's maybe focus on investors first and then we'll go into educators. Is there anything we have not covered?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that come to mind, and not necessarily in any kind of comprehensive way, but I'm seeing a few trends develop. One is consultants are now working with asset owners to create elements of RFPs that include questions related to environmental. Doing is looking at the carbon footprint they have as an asset owner and saying, if we hire this asset manager, how does that contribute to our kind of carbon footprint? So now on RFPs, you're asking, or you're being asked for information on your carbon footprint as an asset manager. People are also looking, asset owners are also looking for strategic partnerships in this area. It goes back to that virtual team. This challenge of finding resources is quite problematic, and I'm seeing consultants that are taking the lead in this space, getting out in front of things, and actually getting some extra business that way. I haven't seen specialists in this area yet, but certainly some of the mainstream consultants are dedicating space.
Dr. Calvello, this was very educational. Thank you for joining us.
Raj, it was a pleasure. Thank you for your preparation and insights.
You're welcome.